who's the winner of today's edition of 3 from the Guys?
It's Michael. It's Peter. How are you guys doing today?
Doing okay, Judge. It was fun to see you yesterday. It was great to see you and have a good time at 2 Mile Landing with you with all those jokes like Mike Gill was saying.
Yeah, it was a great time. We had a lot of people come up and say how much they like 3 from the Guys, so that was awesome to get some good feedback like that.
Yeah, it was a nice time down there, and you had people, I said you had people in 6s and 7s down there.
6s and 7s and 8s and 9s, and we were drinking 40s. It was a lot of fun yesterday, definitely.
They had good beer down there, by the way. I had a nice Heavy Seas from Baltimore, Maryland.
Just a side note, the judge is actually going to be emceeing a special event for rescue dogs tomorrow. Don'tBullyUsRescue.org. It's the Barkbecue in Medford, New Jersey, 80th Street. We'll be there from 11 to 4. So if anybody wants to come by, you can adopt a wonderful pit bull puppy. Bring your dog. Bring your family. Leave the cat at home, I think. That's a smart move. Don'tBullyUsRescue.org is the website for whoever wants to jump in. And speaking of jumping in, guys, let's do this. This is the weekend edition of 3 from the Guys. PT, Markelle Fultz, who we're going to be hearing from in about half an hour, put out a prepared and sponsored Instagram post after the Sixers selected him first overall. But the post was just a template with variables in parentheses. So like you said, it said, I'm so excited to join team name, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's embarrassing, I guess, that he's not in charge of his own account, or he needs help to actually say, hey, I love being in Philly. But apparently the glitch continued today. There's another post that appeared by Fultz, and it said, sorry, Team City. I hit traffic on the highway name on my way to town, stopped off at local attraction to buy some sponsored product, but then new teammate's first name had my back and sent out a sponsored limousine company name to pick me up. I can't wait to try a local food product made fresh from local restaurant.
No, that's great.
Maybe he can explain what was on his mind today. I don't know.
Mad Libs?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like filling the Mad Libs in the old days.
Mike, let's ad-lib this one. Pacers president Kevin Pritchard said that he was surprised by the quote-unquote gut punch he got when he suddenly, out of the blue, realized Paul George didn't want to play for him anymore.
Right.
Where has Pritchard been? Was he busy playing bass on tour with Knicks owner James Dolan and JD in the Straight Shot? Kevin, how about your team lost 40 games last year? How about the gut punch of mediocrity you gave your fans while you took their money last season? Oh, that's just terrible.
JD and the Straight Shots is... What was that down the adult...
The alternative adult aisle that apparently Bree, who works at 2 Mile Landing, does not visit.
That's right.
That Bree, I forgot about that.
Oh,
we're on the radio right now. Hi, Bree.
PT, I guess NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin is a little sore about having never won a race at Sonoma Raceway, and then he got punked by Tony Stewart in last year's Cup Sprint. So he replied to a trivia tweet about the last 10 winners of the race, and he just wrote, not me, not me, not me, over and over again. It reminded me of Jack Nicholson in The Shining. All losing and no winning makes Denny a dull boy.
Oh, very good.
If nothing else, Hamlin has demonstrated how effective today's race car drivers can be with what is obviously a very limited vocabulary. These guys, they make Ricky Bobby look like a Rhodes Scholar. Michael. So I guess Jimmy Butler's trainer had some parting words for Chicago Bulls GM Gar Forman, calling him a liar and then asking for real estate advice for Minneapolis. I don't know. Something doesn't line up here. I mean, he doesn't speak for Butler, though, right? He's just a trainer. I mean, he's going to train Butler and get paid no matter where Butler plays. So, of course, he's pissed. He's got to move from Chicago to Minnesota now.
That's a good point.
Chicago has everything you want. Great restaurants, clubs, a city vibe. Now he has to go to a cold, empty Minnesota. This is a sour grapes move. If Butler went to the Heat or the Lakers, then those tweets don't happen.
That's right. That's a good point.
Peter, the Celtics and the Lakers have a Bird and a Bryant back on their rosters, respectively. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's interesting, but it's not that crazy. It's it's not like these players are going to be mistaken for the originals. They're not the most unusual names in the world. Thomas Bryant is a 7-foot-tall center, and Kobe was a 6'6" shooting guard. I mean, and Jabari Bird looks like an exact photo negative of Larry Bird. I mean, if the Lakers had drafted a player named Jimbo Abdul-Jabbar out of Wake Forest, then fine.
I mean, even Josh is. I mean, he can't even contain himself right now.
Well, the men's room is down the hall, Josh. MG, ESPN's Brian Windhorst decided to update his iPhone right at the beginning of the NBA draft, so it was inoperable. I mean, this is definitely a bonehead move. This is like right before you have to leave for work, you decide to change your own spark plugs in the car. And then 3 hours and 17 spare parts on your lawn later, you get fired. I saw the clip of this guy, and I know he's an ESPN reporter. He's one of our brotherhood, but I don't see why he couldn't use that big laptop computer he has. It's not like you can only tweet on a phone. He can direct message his sources. I think this guy is just lazy, and he came up empty on draft night, and then he tried to cover his ass, and now he looks worse.
That's one theory.
I'm just conspiracy theoried out today, guys. That is the end of 3 from the Guys. A great week, great stories all around. I have to say, insert your team name here. Put Peter over the top. You have won 3 from the Guys for the week.
Yes!
We have a winner. Congratulations, you are one of life's winners. We'll be right back.
You are one of life's winners, Pete Thompson. Congratulations. That's a 3-1 week for the PT.
I couldn't be more tickled and pleased. I am so excited to head into the weekend on a winning note.
Congratulations. You won out right now. As usual, guys, I do have the tiebreaker question. We didn't get to use it, but I do have it for posterity's sake if you guys are interested.
All right, here we go.
All right, you have the possession arrow, Mike. And, of course, for those just tuning in who haven't been avid followers of 3 from the Guys, I ask you a question, or you can pass the question. It's a numerical answer, and if you guess it, the other person guesses higher or lower, and then we have our winner. So do you want to answer the question or pass the question to PT?
I'm going to answer.
Okay, here we go. Here's the tiebreaker. Yesterday, of course, was the NBA draft. Markelle Fultz, naturally, was taken first overall. Since the NBA draft began in 1947, excluding Fultz, how many players drafted number 1 overall failed to ever play an NBA game?
Wow.
That's a tough one. I'm going to go with 3.
3. Now, PT, you have to guess higher or lower than 3.
I'm going to say higher.
The answer is 2.
Oh! Dang it.
Mike Gill comes back with a nice tiebreaker. When Clifton McNeely in 1947, he was drafted by the Pittsburgh Ironmen. He decided to coach instead. And then in 1951, Gene Melchior was drafted by the Baltimore Bullets, but got banned before the season for point shaving in college.
All right,
Gil, you got that time.
The judge, the Don't Bully Me tomorrow in Medford. Check that out. And Damien will be emceeing that. All right, he's got South Jersey Sports Center coming up at the top of the hour here on the Sports Bash 97.3 ESPN.